Alright, good morning. Marilyn was like, did y'all meet Celeste? No, they did not. She's the GM of the Motel 6. She brought our rate down to $65. So we're gonna try to stay here today. It's only 6 o'clock, so we got 5 hours to do that. Alright, last clip. I gotta charge my phone. I didn't charge it last night I was listening to a podcast and it died on the dock. Guess I got 25% battery. Gonna eat. I tried to raise money to stay here today. Yeah, we're gonna go for a ride, Marilyn. But we weren't able to make it, so we just gotta keep going. Alright, I won't be filming much today because my phone's on a very low battery, but we just got outside of Kearney. So it took about 20 minutes. We got 40 miles to go to Grand Island. Alright, 18% battery. Some restaurant smells really good, but I called the Chapman, Nebraska fire chief. Well, I called the dispatch for the county, and the chief called me and he said I can stay inside the station tonight and that they've got hamburger buns and hamburgers and that he's fine feeding me. And so we're gonna head that way now. It's about 15 miles and then it's 4 o'clock already, which is like super long day. Did well.
Actually, 5 people, I should say, live here and commute there.
This is the Chapman Fire Department.
So there's a lot of big macho man trucks driving around.
We're watching Stobe the Hobo. He's a legendary YouTuber in my
There's not a
opinion.
whole lot to see here. Definitely want to point out.
He would ride the rails. There's Marilyn. Yeah, so we finished the day today. I got to Omaha. No, not Omaha. I got to Grand Island, I think, and I called the fire department. I called the county dispatch, and then for this small town fire department. I was just looking for any small town after Grand Island that had a fire department, and this town does. Chapman, Nebraska. Look it up. It's super cool. Little dingleberry. All right, so I'll show you later what I got from here, but they got me some hamburger buns, they got me some chips, and they got me some hamburger. So there's a shower, everything you need. Really, this is the first fire department since Ordway. Obviously, it's not as exquisite as Ordway, which was in episode like 6 or 7 or something. But we're done. So this was a really good day. I don't know who or when, if you're watching this video, but awesome day. All right, good morning. I'm here with Chief Francis. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the community, maybe, for people who never go here before?
We're a small community, about close to 300 people. It's mainly basically rural corn around here, soybeans. We have a popcorn factory outside of Chapman that produces popcorn worldwide. We have an elevator. We haul grain out of here, corn and soybean yearly. The town was founded probably 1800 sometime.
And then what should I expect going east that maybe I didn't experience so much from the west?
Well, you'll see more people willing to maybe help you, spend the night. Hey, yeah, go ahead, spend the night out here in our fire station or a church or whatever.
Yeah.
We're kind of laid back to a certain extent. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't judge people. We just, if we, law enforcement calls you and heck, hey, you got a place for a gentleman to spend the night. There is a, if law enforcement say it's okay, they checked you out and they did a background check before they called me and things like that.
Yeah, okay, that's people are gonna be that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I stayed at this fire department in Chapman, Nebraska last night, and I'm gonna kind of commit to putting my guard down a little bit more in terms of asking for help, because people are willing to help.
I would say there's the churches around here going, now maybe when you get around Lincoln, Omaha, then it might get a little bit more
Skeptical.
Yeah.
But you would say even along the Lincoln Highway in the small towns, they're going to be pretty kind?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, see you, Chief.
See you later.
All right, we're heading straight north right now. We just left the fire department, and I do not want to ride along trains right now. So that's part of the key reason for us going north. The towns in any direction, northeast or south, are more dense. So like every 10 miles you'll run into a town pretty much, which is our godsend, because that means that for every hour I'm getting to a new town, which is a new opportunity to stay somewhere. Coming into Archer. Thank you. This is my part.
And this truth is my job.
All along I was lost, wave away to all my flaws. This is raw, this is us, making songs like we on top. Oh hoorah, la la, giving off, la-dee, that's been a bit. Maybe we'll drop, and I run it like I'm lost. Yep, let's dance. I gave my therapist a job. Yeah, I'm a bird on a wire. I'm a bird on a wire. I'm a bird you want desire. All right, we're doing some gravel riding, which is awesome. I'm gonna be watching this later in the future and be like, dang, that was such a cool time. We got the cows over here. I know. Yeah, she and I have crossed the country 7 times already. Yep. And it's supposed to rain in a little bit too. Yeah, it will. So that's a good highway for me. Not as heavy as traffic. Okay. Awesome. Well, this is a good highway, good road to take down there. Thank you very much. All right, that sweet lady came up to me and she was like, "Are you lost?" And I told her about the last few days just riding on the Lincoln Highway, the construction and the railroad and traffic. So she advised me though, because of the rain, that I come back down to the tarmac. It's supposed to rain here in a little bit, a couple hours for sure. So I've got trash bags ready, like nearby in my saddlebags, and as soon as I get that first drop of rain, I'll cover this up. That's part of the reason I'm getting off this too, this road. It's because Marilyn kind of got irritable, a little motion sick, so she's the top priority. And yeah, I'll just ride. Kind of just bypassed some towns by coming north so high. Meaning like the Lincoln Highway went at an angle and I went straight north and then straight east. Mostly north, now due south so I can get to this highway and then listen to a podcast and have some snacks because I missed my chance out of Casey's. Just very loose. Alright, so there's rain behind me. There's rain behind me. And this truck guy is here too. I don't know what he needs. You might want to see. So we made this decision to turn north. I mean, I don't know if you wanted a picture, you know? I like to think that he stops on the opposite side of traffic, you know, in the opposite lane of oncoming traffic, just parked and started waving at me flamboyantly, you know? He might have wanted the picture with Marilyn. So this view looks a lot more like Michigan, Wisconsin. We've come north about 25 miles today. New territory for us. And we've had grass for a while now to get the trees kind of sparsely spread about. It's pretty cool. We crossed Prairie Creek just south of here. Oh, there's a cat on this side of the road. Prairie Creek. Prairie Creek. About 6 miles to Fullerton. All right, y'all ready for a historical marker? Mormon Pioneer Campsite in the early spring of 1847. Several. Yeah, it was written by, I think it was written by in part. Yeah, so I think it was bought or purchased, written by the Church of Latter-day Saints themselves. And I find them to be, they don't have a good theology. They think they're like gods. And I'm no better. I recently had to go through a pretty humbling experience with God. My attitude was off. It was right before I left Kearney and headed for Grand Island. So yesterday, I woke up and had sent some personalized messages to people. And I mean, as you guys have known, reaching out to people for donations, and it's been awesome. It got me through some of the most arid stretch. So somewhere where it might have otherwise been difficult to camp, especially with the heat. So I don't feel bad about what led me to a pretty disturbed perspective. I was just waiting and relying on donations in a way that kind of took away from the trip. I was sitting in my hotel room hoping to be able to stay there in Kearney for another day, but you know, you can't get mad at God or get mad at the world to the point where things change. You gotta go up and do something. And so that's when I took off for Grand Island. And along my ride yesterday, I, really had to work it out with God. So the way that yesterday ended meeting Chief Francis at the Chapman Fire Department. In my time there last night, it was, you know, a good father's way of loving on me, I would say, because I know I've only stayed at 2 on this current trip, but a fire department like that's like the bee's knees. It doesn't get any better than that, because like you're totally left alone. You're inside the VFD. I mean, yes, there might be a call, but more than likely not. And so it's cozy. All right, so once we got onto the eastern slope, we hit the Arkansas River, the South Platte, the North Platte, the Platte, and as we've continued north, the Loup River. And that is a nice looking river. All right, there it is, Marilyn. So we're gonna get a lead on her and let her chill. All right, Marilyn's down for a break. I got some food. Throwing up. She got a little motion sick. So hopefully her eating this grass kind of gets the water, gets her a little bit of water, and then also helps her to kind of relieve some nausea. The hills, yeah. I think we made it officially to the green line. So there's a river down there. The reason why I say that is because there's hills stretched out that way. Oh, you're a good looking dog, but don't die. You know? Yeah, go home. All right, look at all the waterways we're passing. Plum Creek.
Continue for 9 miles.
All right, 1:34 in the afternoon with 27 miles to Platte Center, which was the furthest off fire department that I called. So I called 2. I called one in Monroe, which is along this highway, and then I'll just kind of give it until, which is, I don't know, 15 miles away. Just kind of riding in the quiet on this lovely backcountry road. Definitely hit the hill country. And look how much woods are right there. So we're getting east, y'all. All right, 23 miles left, Platte Center. Fire Chief Troy Brandt, he called me and he said I could stay at the station tonight. So that's where we're headed. All right, quick clip of Genoa, Nebraska. Trying to save battery on my phone. Kush Bros, let's go, Kush Bros. All right, coming into Monroe, just as small as the town we were in yesterday. I thought I smelled something like weed. All right, so this is the last 5 miles to town for the night. We got some gravel, which is not so bad. Chief left the door unlocked for me, so we're heading right there. All right, it's humid now, but there's our town. Down this hill and then up one more hill. All right, there it is. All right, end of the day. So this is the where we'll be sleeping. Taylor Spliff, bro. That's so funny. The fire chief and some people came by and drank until about 10:15, so I didn't get to bed till late.
All right, so it's morning now, and I just checked. I was like, man, I'm hungry, dude. I hope I have money when I get to the next town. And I remembered the fire chief last night before he left. He was like, "Oh yeah, I want to give you something too." He like put a $50 on the table. So I probably shouldn't tell any details about last night then, because I just got paid off. We'll get a little temperature check. It's not raining, it's humid. So we're all packed up. All right, start of the day. It's Friday. So what would that be? 16, day 19. Start of day 19. Let's go. Little drizzle in the air. All right, Chief, thank you so much. I'm just gonna unplug this and leave this here. I'll fold it up. But thank you guys so much for the stay, and next time I come through here, I will.
No, I won't.
All right, so the plan for today is get back out on Highway 81, which is just east of here, about a mile, and then start heading north. There's really no way east until you go about 10 to 15 miles north. It's a small community. Norfolk is even more north of that, so there's hotels there. I put a message into a Facebook group.
I'm tired of my own speculative talk. Let's just hit the road. So this busy highway that runs north and south, it would have went to Norfolk, which is kind of where I was pseudo going to stop. But the shoulder is really rough, and it's making for a really bad ride for Maryland. So we finally got to a junction that goes east, and I just was inside talking to the ladies, and they said that's a better option to go east and west than if I continued north and then went east and west on the next town. So I heard from the chief, Steve Bombing, Steve bombs the hills. Steve Bomber is kind enough to meet me. He's the fire chief. Apparently their fire hall is newer than the town just after. Clarkson. I'm going to Clarkson, Nebraska. So I gotta remember I'm a good old boy living the good life in Nebraska today. I don't even know what these towns are like, but Steve Bomb this hill. Steve Bomber is incredible. He's nice. I don't know if he's incredible, but he's credible because he's the fire chief. So we're gonna go see Steve Steve Bomb this hill. So this is the last look you get of this in the daylight, because tomorrow I ride that section in the dark. That's a big hill. Those are big hills. That's several hills. Alright, remind me to show you guys in the morning, but I came into the town. I'm going to the fire chief's place of business, place of employment. But these towns are right off that main highway, and I came in and the sign said Vitame Vas Clarkson, the city of hospitality. And they had like those little blue triangles where it's like camping, animals, like they just want you to be here. And the chief even referenced the right across Nebraska, if that's what I was doing. So this is probably a really cool place. All right, the chief just left. Thank you, Chief Steve bombing this hill. All right, so it's kind of nervous meeting Steve, coming into this small community, and then he showed me the department. It was all kind of, straight, talking about you can shower here, you can do this there, and then he asked me about where I was from, and then I started talking about what God is doing in my life. Like, I was talking about it in a way where it was like pretty sober-minded, and it was like pretty clear. Like, I've obviously been thinking about this and working, with God to become a type of person who can inherit a promised land. Like John 12 talks about becoming children of light while you have light, and really just not missing out on the opportunity that God wants to do something big and beautiful in your life. And then we kind of got to the end of the conversation. I kind of shared all of that with him. It was just kind of like a little mini testimony. Midwest emo tits? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. This would be a cool tits emo album. And then we got to the end. I shared my story, and he was standing right here, and he was like, huh. And you could see, it was kind of like welling up in his eyes, and I was kind of welling up. I was like, man, this is my story. And I ended with, yeah, so that's where I'm going. And he was like, and then we just kind of like separated. I was like, all right, thank you. And then I would say like, all right. And he kind of like, turned around and didn't know like if I was saying something else, or it was just so playfully innocent. And we're here now. We're here in, I don't mind airing out Platt Center. So we're here in Clarkson, Nebraska, and last night about 5 o'clock the beer started cracking, and the assistant chief came in drinking, and I was like, that's kind of odd. Like, it wasn't too late. I mean, it was like 5 o'clock. It was cool. And he came in, he wanted to help me out, so we were sitting there talking the shit, and it was a loud room like this. Louder, and there was no carpet, and so it was echoing, and the fire chief was being really handsy with Marilyn, and people were there until about 10 o'clock, and they were drinking the entire time. I mean, you heard beer crack after beer crack after beer crack, and we got to a point where he was like, oh, I'm surprised they didn't have any beer in Chapman. And he's like, for us, we let the guys have a beer in the training room during meetings. It just helps everybody calm down a little bit. And he's like, I was like, so what do people do around here? He's like, we like to get fucked up around here. And they were like, if you want to get shit done around here, find somebody who drinks beer. And it was just gross. It was so weird. And I hope that's not what's happening to salt of the earth country folks. But good God, it was just exhausting. And so I didn't get good sleep last night. Not to say I participated in all of that beer drinking, but I did have a couple beers, okay? So the point is I couldn't get any rest last night. And so we took off this morning, and we made it to Clarkson, Nebraska, and I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling like that I don't even know who you are. I'm just holding a camera and just sharing this video with you so that you can see what it looks like to become somebody. All right? All right, there's home base for the night, the backside of it. And here's the fire department. Apparently this town is known for lady Blue or Lady Bird Nursery. Harland, the owner or the originator, did a lot of breeding, grafting plants, creating phenotypes of plants. So that's here, and then Clarkson Bakery. Apparently they lost their grocery store, but I think there's a little gas station. You're selling fresh produce?
Yeah.
Alright, here's downtown. This place is flippin' sweet, dude. It's got like parking in the middle. It's like such a small, quiet little town.